What's up, graphic designers? It's Thursday. You guys are doing such a great job on this designing currency project that we're working on. And before we start analyzing some of your work, I wanted to share with you a little bit of what I'm working on this evening. So here's a photo from my family circle. We meet in the gym. Some of us, some family circles talk about your feelings, you share your ideas. Other family circles play ultimate frisbee, and that's that's some of what we do. And I wanted to take this image, and I wanted to take this relatively ordinary photo and make it extraordinary. I think that this visual looks pretty cool, and I hope you do too. And in a minute, we're gonna come back to Amy's draft of her like Barbie currency. I added this quote right here: "Life in plastic, it's fantastic." We're gonna return to it in just a little bit. First, however, let's take a look at not at Nolan's wonderful composition from Seinfeld in The Office. Instead, what we're gonna look at your paper currency. This looks great. Although, Amy, you're definitely gonna want to desaturate Barbie and maybe add a filter. And to be clear, if you guys forgot how to do that, so this is gonna add it to the entire image. But uh, if I were you, we would want to add it just to a single layer. Yikes. Make sure the layer is selected. We're going to go to filter, and then we're going to go to filter gallery, and then you've got a lot you can choose from. I'm under sketch, but in fact, what we want to do, this is a great learning experience. We want to make the foreground black, the background white, and so now when we press filter again, because previously I had a couple of cool colors, some light blues and some dark blues. Now we're going to have something like this. And so now if you do, for example, photocopy or maybe stamp, you're going to experiment with some of this chrome. That looks awful. This looks not even a little bit good. Maybe you want to experience with charcoal thickness and detail. I'm going to return to photocopy, and I like that just for a quick second. So maybe we're going to have something that looks a little bit like this. We're going to press Command-Shift-N, and then we're going to get a nice light color, maybe like this kind of salmon color. And we're going to press V, hold Shift, plus, plus, plus. And I'm going to cycle through, and then I'm going to drop the opacity to like, something like 24%. In any event, we're going to keep it moving. That looks cool. Well done, Andrew Yan. This looks like, this is version 1. Andrew knows I don't love the addition of this figure, but that's fine. I respect him. We're going to desaturate that background, and here we go. Andrew, I think you should consider adding some filters, like we just learned how to do. Bailey, who consistently and routinely produces high quality work, has only submitted a draft. She's got off to a great start. Oh, and there we go. Here's the second submission, version 2. And what I would say to Bailey and everybody is, you guys want to think about like not just color scheme, but like how light the bills are. Typically, currency is like a light color. This is a little bit darker. It's got the heavy blues in the background, so maybe you want to reconsider that as you continue designing this. Nice job, Chris. You're going to want to drop the opacity, add some filters. Dexter, drop the opacity. We want light on dark, dark on light, so maybe you want to think about 10 beans. Should be maybe a lighter color, but that looks great. Dexter is prolific these days. Think about contrast. Dexter, I don't know what made you want to go buck wild on Mr. Bean, but Gabby, honestly, excellent. I really like the color schemes. I like the blending modes. That's wonderful. My man Isaac is doing a great job on our friend Mr. Rubel. That looks hilarious. He's going to add lots of textures. He's going to revisit the color of the sweater. That looks great. John, this looks good. The only thing is that this background, which I love, it's extending across the entire bill. Maybe you want to like have it go only across maybe 2/3, or like do something different with the borders. Jordan, I'm a believer. I don't know how that happened, but it's true. I would drop down the opacity of these ellipses or these 90-degree, I don't know, rotated halos. I don't know what we want to call them, but they're abstract and they're cool nonetheless. Cameron's got some fun penguins and Arctic creatures. Kelvin's got some dino dollars. I love it. I love this futuristic take on how they spend money in outer space. Gaga is the featured individual on Lola's currency. So you guys are going to be like celebrating who you love. Maybe it's Lady Gaga, maybe it's Kobe, and that looks great. Nolan. So here's what I know, ladies and gentlemen. I love not just Nolan's color scheme, but Gabby's color scheme, and then and I think, and maybe we'll go with John. And so one of the reasons I like it is because it's light, it's not too empowering, like overwhelming. So you guys want to consider that. So like for example, Nicole, who's doing a great job repping the Knicks, will they make the playoffs? You're gonna want to drop the opacity of the orange and blue gradient in the back, but I like what you got so far. Reed, this looks fun. Reed, this looks pretty serious. I like that. Sawyer, this looks great. You might want to drop the opacity of that blue. Um, and I like 19 pounds. That looks great. I like the gradient effect that we did in class. All right, and so here's what I know, ladies and gentlemen. A minute ago I was saying that we're looking at Amy's dollar bill, right? And she's got life in plastic. It's fantastic. It's true, but you know what? This language is kind of simple. It's kind of plain. I'm wondering if we can spice it up a little bit and make our currency seem, I don't know, international. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to open up a new tab. I'm going to go to Google Translate, and I'm going to enter text, Command V. And we don't want English to English because that would be weird. Instead, do we want English to Punjabi? Do we want English to Shona? And I'm embarrassed. I don't even know what Shona is. Igbo? That's kind of cool. What if we did English to, and I'm cruising, you guys are experimenting. You're going to go to defont.com. You're going to find something cool. What if we did Chinese traditional? That looks awesome. I'm going to highlight, right? Left click and drag. Command C. I'm going to return to Photoshop. I'm going to hop in here, and I'm going to press Command A, Command V. What? That looks cray cray. I'm going to press Command T. And you know one of the things I like about this is that when we go to Window and then Layers, we can add a cool layer style. And so we've got these. That's way too much, right? So let me drop down the size. And so we got something that looks a little bit like it. That looks amazing. And if you wanted instead, you wanted to do Latvian, you could do that. I'm having fun with Persian. We're talking about Persian in class, not a country. Who was saying that? It is, however, a language. And for some reason, I'm having difficulty highlighting and pasting. Welsh. What does Welsh look like? So maybe you want to instead do Welsh. Ladies and gentlemen, you're going to experiment with languages. You're going to think about like quotes that resonate with you. So we did Chinese, we did Welsh, and here we've got Japanese. I can't wait to see your work. I can't wait to see how you're adding lots of details and characteristics that resonate with who you are and your artistic sensibilities.